What is up, everybody? It is your boy NMR Sports here, and I'm coming back at you with another MLB The Show video. Now, this one isn't for the veterans like me who've been playing MLB The Show. This is actually for all of the guys over on Xbox and everybody on Xbox who hasn't been able to have the luxury of downloading or playing this game on their console, but is finally getting the opportunity to. Now, for a very long time, I was actually an Xbox kid myself. I had an Xbox, I had the original Xbox, I had an Xbox 360, I had an Xbox One. I actually sold that Xbox One this year just to buy a PS4 just to play MLB The Show 20. So MLB The Show 21 is going to be absolutely insane, and you guys are going to love it. But today we're going to go over some of the features and what MLB The Show is going to look like day one for you guys to show why, or kind of give you an idea if you should buy the deluxe edition or if you should just buy the regular edition. The regular edition, of course, is, I believe, $59 for PS4 or Xbox One, and it is $69 for PS5 or Xbox One X. I think it's X, Xbox One X, something like that. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to be kind of a comparison for that. Obviously, the deluxe edition comes with the copy of PS4 and PS5, or Xbox One and Xbox One Series X. And you also get a few bonuses, like a free diamond pack. Diamonds are like the best cards in the game, especially on launch day. But there's definitely a lot of good options, a lot of things to be excited about on that day one. Obviously, MLB The Show, you may hear a lot of complaints about it on Twitter and stuff about the gameplay. But one thing MLB The Show is absolutely amazing about is content. And we're going to look at some of that content today and all the things that are available day one to you guys. So if you guys are interested in winning a free copy of MLB The Show 21 for Xbox or for PlayStation, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll link this video here. Just drop a like on the video. You'll be automatically entered to win. There are 2 more chances to enter on my Instagram and my Twitter. So go ahead and do all 3 of those, and you'll have 3 chances to win a copy of MLB The Show. And there's all sorts of content creators out there who are doing giveaways for this game. So if you're interested in winning, they also have some out there. There's plenty of opportunities to win. So we're going to go into start over here. MLB The Show, my favorite game mode, of course, is the online game mode, Diamond Dynasty. You have a lot of different options. You have ranked seasons, which is where you get to build your team. All these cards you're going to be collecting and doing all this stuff. That's where you take it online. I'm a 584 rating, which means I'm trash. It could be worse, though. You start in spring training, try to get all the way to World Series. World Series is where, like, all the good players can get to. Me, personally, I'm mediocre, so I don't typically make it all the way to World Series. But you get a lot of different rewards all the way. Even if you get to pennant race like I'm at, say, day one, you probably would have got a card like Orioles, Cal Ripken, Johnny Damon. These guys would have been available day one if you were able to make it to a pennant race, which is definitely doable on day one because it's only 500. Basically means you're half as good as the best players. So that's option there, but if you're really good at the game, you're already cracked. Day one, you could have already got yourself a free 90-plus diamond like Adley Rutschman, who is still going for a lot of money, or the virtual currency called stubs. So this is the kind of stuff you'll be earning day one if you're really good at the game, and then if you're decent at the game, you'll earn those pretty good gold cards. So I'm talking day one. These are the kind of cards that'll be available to you day one. Some of them are a lot harder to get than others. Like this Mike Trout is going to be very expensive, but you can always pull him in a pack if you get really lucky, and you could get him for free on day one. Juan Soto, same thing. You can pull him from a pack. Jahmai Jones is in something called Team Affinity. So if you're a big Angels fan like I am, or I guess Orioles fan next year, if you're a big Orioles fan next year, you could get a guy like Jahmai Jones, who's a pretty good 81 overall. I actually hit very well with this card. Rod Carew is available in something called the XP Reward Path, which we'll talk about in just a second. Same thing with Adalberto Mondesi. Same thing with Gary Sanchez, who is actually one of the best catchers in the game, and he's available day one. Joey Gallo is another card that's available in the Team Affinity section. So if you're a big Rangers fan, you can get Joey Gallo day one. And then David Ortiz is one of the free legend cards you will get if you pre-order the game. You get a pack that you can choose from all guys like David Ortiz. Mariano Rivera is one of them. Basically all the new legends in the game, which have not been released yet, mind you, but there's definitely rumors that there could be guys like Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez in there, maybe Roberto Clemente. A lot of different guys that have a possibility to be in this pack. So David Ortiz, literally day one, you got a guy with 99 power, which is very, very good. 64 power is not too bad either. So if you get the deluxe edition, this is the kind of pack that you're going to be looking at for the choice pack. I think if you get the digital deluxe, you get 2 of these packs, if I'm not wrong. So you get cards like David Ortiz, Mickey Mantle, Gary Sheffield, Mariano Rivera, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Schmaltz. These were all the new legends last year. So this next year, we're going to have new legends. So this is the pack that I said might contain guys like Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Roberto Clemente, things like that. But there's definitely, I'll make another video once that comes out and the kind of guys we'll be able to pick. So it'd be very good to have day one. These are some of the cards, like I said. And then these are some of the harder cards to obtain as well. Obviously, Mickey Mantle is an amazing card. He's still really good. I was never personally good with him, but everybody loves him. This is a card that was technically available day one, but if you want this card day one, you are going to be spending money. I'm sorry. It's not a pay-to-play game, not like Madden or 2K that people complain about being pay-to-play. But if you want a card like Mickey Mantle on day one, you are definitely going to shell out some money. Because you're probably going to have to buy some packs or buy some cards on the marketplace. But other guys that could be a little bit easier to get would be like these Tony Gwynns and Mike Schmidt cards. Reggie Jackson's another one that's available in the XP reward path. And then Keibert Ruiz, the same thing with the team affinity like Jahmai Jones is. Now over on the pitching staff, Corey Kluber is actually a very easy card to obtain, and he is one of the best pitchers in the entire game. Also available day one, obviously live series Jacob deGrom, you can pull him in a pack. Walter Johnson's a team reward. Nolan Ryan is available XP reward path, and he is very, very easy to get. You could get him within the first probably 3 hours of gameplay will get you this card because of how easy he is to get. And then a guy like Jason Isringhausen, like here, one of my best pitchers the entire year. He still has an ERA under 4. Absolutely amazing cards that are all available to you opening day. Now, how do you get some of these cards? Well, the easiest way to get them that everybody loves, of course, are packs. I'll be doing a lot of pack openings on this channel. But let's say we go through here, buy some 3 headliners packs. These are a lot better odds than the typical show packs. And you can pull a card like this. A blue diamond card. And then you got this really cool reveal. Oh my god, you gotta be... There's no way. Okay, good. I thought okay, that's the same animation that Mike Trout had. Awards? Bro, what? Just casually pulling an award series card. Now, day one, that would have been an amazing card. It definitely wasn't available day one, but you see the kind of cards that we will be getting here, like Pablo Reyes, Yoshimoto Tetsugo, whatever his name is. All these guys, and then you could get lucky and pull something like this, which will get you a lot of stubs. So it'll be very good. We'll open these 3 packs real quick, because I know pack openings are always the most fun. But yeah, that's like a typical pack. You'll get a guy like Amir Garrett, which on opening day could actually get you a few stubs. Oh, and then you get gold cards like this, Chad Green. So the gold cards will be like 1,000 stubs. That's the virtual currency here, and then obviously you can go into the marketplace with those stubs if you want to play, if you want to buy some people with those. So a guy like Mike Trout on opening day will obviously be the most expensive. Then you got guys like Jacob deGrom who will also be expensive. Typically, if they're over a 90 overall on opening day, they're going to be a very expensive card to get. But this is the kind of money you're going to have to shell out on opening day. If you want to get that Mickey Mantle card I showed you earlier. Obviously, if you really, really want to, you can go over to stubs for the virtual currency. If you want to get an idea of what stubs are worth, obviously here you got 1,000 stubs would be $1, 5,000 would be $5, and then typically the more money you spend, the more you get for free. So if you spend $10, you get 1,000 stubs for free. If you spend $20, you get 4,000 stubs for free. All the way, if you spend $100, you get 50,000 stubs for free. So $100 definitely a good value if you're going to be spending money on the game. If you're planning on spending $100, definitely don't do it in small increments. Just go ahead and buy it. I would definitely set a limit with yourself if you are planning on spending money on the game, though. Otherwise, you'll go crazy like I did over quarantine and spend a large amount of money that you are not comfortable with sharing on the internet. Anyways, yeah, so like I said, it's definitely not pay to play. There's all sorts of things you can do. Like opening day, you'll have all these collections to do. My favorite collection was, of course, the live series collection. Those are the guys like Mike Trout we were talking about earlier, where you have to collect every single card from every single team, all the way up to Mike Trout, like we said here. And then you get free rewards for doing all of this. So if you collect 10 players, you get 2,000 XP points and 200 stubs, all the way up to when you finish a collection, you get a card like Garrett Anderson here, which will get you a pretty nice card for your squad day one. So especially if you want to do a certain team, that's why I would recommend if you pull a guy like Mike Trout, you could do one of two things. You could put him in the collection and then try to get the rest of his team, because you're going to have to get him eventually. Or you could sell him, which will be a ton of stubs opening day, and go ahead and complete smaller teams like the Mariners here, who legitimately, even day one, you probably could have done this team for like 10,000 stubs. Very easy, very cheap to do, just because of how bad their best player is Marco Gonzalez, who's an 82 overall, compared to the Angels team affinity, which... the Angels team collection, which is Mike Trout, who's a 95 overall. Definitely a lot more expensive Mike Trout is here, so... that's kind of what I did day one. Went and did all the smaller collections with maybe guys who weren't as expensive, and then I started doing the more expensive ones as I went throughout the game. If I got lucky and pulled a guy like Justin Verlander, who's worth a lot, or Mike Trout, who's worth a lot. So once you do those collections for each team, you get those guys like I talked about. We'll go into the AL West just because I showed you that one already. you get guys like Garrett Anderson from the Angels, and you get Michael Young from the Rangers, you get Robinson Cano. Typically, the better the cards are on the team, the better card you'll get. So if you finish the Angels day one, you got Garrett Anderson, you put in this. If you collect all of them, you get an even better card, which would be Billy Wagner, who is really good. I've used quite a bit this year. He did pretty well for me, ERA around 5. Then if you collect all of those cards, you get Billy Wagner, you complete the you complete the AL East and get Roberto Alomar. You complete the AL Central and you get Walter Johnson. Then you go and collect them for here and get 99 Craig Biggio, who is an absolute stud. And then once you get Craig Biggio and you finish the National League to get Gary Sheffield, then you go all the way and get Mickey Mantle. So, obviously, a very difficult task to complete day one, but this is definitely the most exciting thing to do on the game. It was so much fun grinding this out and trying to get Mickey Mantle, and then when I finally got him, man, such a satisfying feeling locking that in. And, of course, you get a bunch of stubs and currency with that, too. You get 20,000 XP, 20,000 stubs. So, it's definitely worth it locking these players in, and you can't sell them on the market either, so yeah, it's a very fun thing to do. These collections are. There's also some day one collections, which are just starter collections. You literally collect 2 cards, and then you get some stubs and free stuff for that. What else do we have here? You'll also be able to collect stadiums. You can collect unlockables and equipment like bats and gloves. You can collect stuff for your creative player, which is kind of weird. These are just like collect catchers, so like collect bronze catchers. And then you get all these free stubs and everything. So definitely do these collections. It's a great way, especially if you run out of stubs. It's a great way to build up more stubs and get to that XP reward path, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we also, so let's talk about that XP reward path I said. Now, this is a way to get a lot of really good cards for completely free, literally for just playing the game. These cards are just going to come to you and you're not even going to realize it. So like day one, this is probably like level 5 bronze, which you could probably do just by doing a few of those collections. You'll automatically get some of these free silver cards, which will be pretty good for you day one. You can add some of these to your collections here. Then you'll get these cards. These cards can actually be put into collections and you can do moments with them. And then once you do all of those moments, you'll get the diamond version of his card, and then the diamond version of his card will be really good for you to put on your squad opening day. Then you get things like this, where you'll be able to get gear, which will help you with your creative player, Road to the Show, which we'll talk about probably in another video. Let me know if you guys want to see that in the comment section for sure. We could talk about offline game modes. I'm just going to be going over Diamond Dynasty in this one. You get free show packs, like the pack I showed you earlier. And then this is where you start to get really good cards like that Nolan Ryan I was talking about. This is all very easy to get day one. If you literally just play the game for an hour or two, you'll probably be able to work your way up to these gold cards. And then you'll get free stubs, free packs, and then here's where you start to get those really good cards I was talking about, like this Gary Sanchez was an insanely good card opening day because of his power numbers, and there's really not that many offensively good catchers. Even this late in the game, we probably only have like 5 or 6 catchers that I would use on my card, and obviously we're pretty much done with content this point in the year, so good catchers are definitely a hot commodity. You get a gold live series player, which could help you out with those collections we talked about. And then eventually you'll get up to these legends. These are the cards, like I said, that'll be available opening day. But these are definitely guys to get your squad started out really well. So if you need a good pitcher, if you need a good reliever like Mariano Rivera, or if you just need some bats for your lineup to make yourself a little better. So that's a really good thing you can get opening day. And then it goes all the way up to like this high diamond where you get Corey Kluber. You could probably get Corey Kluber in your first 3 to 4 days, 3 to 5 days, definitely in your first week if you play the game enough. So the XP reward path is something really cool, and it literally goes on forever. Like, it goes on forever and ever. So you're literally just playing the game and getting all of this free stuff. So when we talk about being for good free content, there is a lot of good free content on this game. You are going to love it if you end up downloading it. Trying to think, what else did I miss here? Programs are another thing. There's player programs, which we talked about day one. You could have had guys like that, what was day one here? Like Carlos Gonzalez, like I said, you collect that first card, and then you can work your way up to this 90 overall card, which would be really good for your squad. Those are a little time consuming, so I don't personally like them, but day one, if you're trying to grind out content and not spend a lot of money, that's a good thing you can do here. These are the team affinity programs I mentioned earlier. I'm a big Angels fan, so that's why I did this one first. You do certain things like missions, like playing innings with the Angels, getting hits with Angels, getting 3 extra base hits with Tim Salmon, all sorts of different challenges you can do here. You can also exchange your rivals, which is the easiest way to do it, I guess. but that's also something that could net you a little bit of money. So if you're opening a lot of packs and you're wondering what to do with some of these extra cards you have, you can always go here and then you'll exchange them, and that'll get you some good cards. That'll get you further in this team affinity path, which is how I completed it very fast. But you get guys like day 1, you could have got your My Jones. Day 1, you could have got Shohei Ohtani. Plus, you could have got all these free packs and other stuff like unlocking Angel Stadium for free, unlocking some Angels Live Series players. So these are good things to do opening day, and you can do this for every team. It's not just your favorite team. So yeah, I do it for every single team here, and you earn super cool cards on day 1, like that Joey Gallo card I talked about here. So definitely these are going to be things you want to look out for. Team Affinity, if you have done everything else, which is definitely impossible. Even I haven't done everything on this game, and I play it every day. Yeah, these are going to be fun things to do. So you have those Team Affinity programs. You have monthly awards, which I don't think will be available opening day. They usually start in, well, I guess since we're starting in April, they might be available opening day. So you'll have different monthly awards cards, which you can earn, which were... like Ryan Zimmerman here, just because they had a month of April. Typically, those will come out the month after they, the month after they have a good month. So if they have a good April, it'll probably come out in May, and so on and so forth throughout the year, eventually culminating in very, very good cards. So if you finish them, these are also really easy things to do, and you'll end up getting guys like Didi Gregorius. Also, the missions are typically moments, which are those things I talked about where you have to go in and get some hits with people. Now, we talked about the player programs, the monthly award programs. Prestige programs is basically if you play really good with certain cards, you can earn their prestige version, which is basically the same card, just with a little bit better stats. I'll talk a little bit about that in a later video, of course. Featured programs are one thing I do want to touch on, because first inning program is something that would be available day 1, and this is something you grind out. You get all this free stuff. So like I said, man, free content. This is the kind of stuff you're getting opening day. You can get 82, 83 overall cards, working all the way up to these 90 pluses. 91 overall Todd Helton. 93 overall Roy Oswalt, was one of the best pitchers in the game for months. And then Duke Snider, if you really like Duke Snider. I don't personally, but a lot of people do. They like his swing. So I'll give you a pretty good overview. Same thing with this. You do missions. Conquest is a really cool game mode I'll talk about in a sec. You can do collections. That'll get you more stars for this program to work towards those 90 plus we talked about. And then you can do some of those moments like we talked about here. Here, I'll go over moments real quick. So this one's Amir Garrett's moment. Amir Garrett, it'll say something like he was in the Players League, which was an MLB The Show league with Major League Baseball players they were doing at the beginning of quarantine when baseball wasn't around. So Amir Garrett beat Blake Snell, and he struck out 3 batters in 2 innings and shut him out. So as you can see, that's how he closed out the game. So as you can see here, the moment you go into it pitching as Amir Garrett, you got to strike out 3 batters, you got to pitch 2 innings, and then you can't give up a run. So basically, you just got to do that, and then you get free stars for the moments. So you do all 4 of these, you get 16 stars, and that'll get you closer to some of these good cards and good players. So those innings come out periodically, and then you'll end up getting really good cards with them. The current program right now is the 11th inning program, and I think I'm actually going to get some free packs from doing this. So for the programs I talked about, the current one is the 11th inning program. You can do things like exchanges. So you can exchange catchers, the one that I have right now. So we'll exchange some of these, and then you get rewards. I think I just got 5 Ballin' as a Habit packs, which are really good packs that are also available opening day. But you can do things like play innings with Cubs players. So if you put some Cubs players on your squad, you get free points. That'll get you towards those diamonds we talked about. You can steal 2 bases, which I never steal, which is why I'll never get this one done. Gold outfield runs, and then you can also exchange them for a new mission if you want. We'll exchange this stolen base one. So you get to score 4 runs now, which is obviously something that you can do pretty easily, which you'll do throughout playing the game, of course. All right, so that's a good overview on some of the stuff that's going to be available opening day to you guys. I'm going to have another guide coming out with all of these different game modes. I don't want this video to go on too long for you guys, but thank you so much for watching. And Xbox fans, we are so happy to have you here. You are going to love this game. I can guarantee it. It's going to be so exciting. In the next one, we're going to be talking about Showdown, Battle Royale, Conquest, events, all of this kind of stuff. I talked a little bit about ranked seasons, but we'll do a little bit more in-depth dive. If you enjoy MLB Show content and MLB content in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitch while I'll be streaming this game. So if you have any questions at all and you want some more knowledge and info on why you should or shouldn't buy this game or which game mode you should buy, let me know, of course. My DMs are always open, and I'll be live on Twitch later today that I can talk to you about it. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Smash that like button, and I will see you all in the next one.